Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all doing well. Hope it's a nice Sunday evening for you guys, and hoping you're just settling down to chill, or a nice bit of Demolition Derby, by which I of course mean VLF1. I'm Cradden, I'm back to the casting desk, and I'm here with a returning successful half of last week's broadcast, if you could tell between the frames. It's my boy Impress, how you doing?
Hello, Cradden. I don't know if returning is the right term, but at what point, like, I'm asking you as a native speaker, right? At what point does a stand-in become a regular member?
I don't know. There's some subtleties. I mean, I'd call myself returning, even though I wasn't there last week, because I do this a lot. But also, you've gone and you've come back. Hinun Suroka, as you might say.
Yeah. Well, I have to correct you. You here because I've been sitting here for 3 weeks in Stuhl's basement, so I haven't had really the chance to, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't really return if you haven't really moved anywhere.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I hate these COVID and customs rules. How you have to have like an export declaration and a visa to leave Stillman's basement. It really shouldn't be.
I
Really
also don't
shouldn't be
know
happening.
how the quarantine rules are in Stuhl's basement, but at least he gives me some nice food at least every 2 days. But yeah, how you? But other than that, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Yeah, it sounds good. I would have thought that the quarantine rules were awkward there because you can't stay 2 meters away from anyone because that's how small the basement is. Yeah, doing okay. I've been ordered back to work, so I'll be returning to work full time rather than doing hybrid as of tomorrow, as of Monday. So I'll be having a lot less time just goofing off and playing random games like Final Fantasy at home, and I'll be doing a lot more of goofing off and playing random games like not Final Fantasy and work. So it's lots of things are changing, but some things are staying the same. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, speaking of things that stay the same, it's currently 33 minutes past 7, and well, hasn't started yet. Imagine I told this to our production team, the entire team, when I was chatting with them in the basement. Imagine like close your eyes, right? And imagine BL starts on time. Can you do that?
Yeah, it's a weird world. We can think of all sorts of fantasy worlds. We can think of a world where Game of Thrones season 8 was successful, and that's still less outlandish than a 7 o'clock from start for VLF1. I don't know if we're seeing it on stream. I'm gonna actually have to check with our production. Yeah, good. We've hidden that. So what's happening behind the scenes, because this is janky as heck, is we're running this week without Q1, the first block of qualifying that limits the number of drivers down to 15. And the reason we've done that is because there are only 15 drivers this week. So there's no need to eliminate anyone. There's no need to set times. So what's happening right now is this may be the only chance that Brandon has to be top of a leaderboard. He's made everyone else go into the box. He's doing one lap around the track to make sure he has the fastest time. And then when he's done that, he's gonna then retire, and we're going to come back with Q2, where everyone's hopefully going to come out and start racing.
All right. Speaking of Brandon, he told me one thing earlier today. He was like, I'm not sure how much I should practice for this Belgian Grand Prix, right? I'm not really into it right as of now, but I want to keep doing and keep racing, at least in VLF1, until I win something. And I was like, I'm not sure if in 2033 VLF1 is still a thing. But
no, I just did the depressing thing where in my head I heard the number 2033 and thought that's way off in the future. That's 20 years away. That's going to be a long time. And then I realized that it's in 11 years.
Oh yeah.
So me and Brandon will be 38, 39. Brandon will be particularly eggified. I'll have got the Magnum PI mustache on fleek. Yeah, Brandon might get his maiden victory then. To be honest, as much as we like memeing on Brandon, it's and we're going to keep doing that, by the way, throughout this entire broadcast.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a measure of just how cool VL F1 has been, that despite all the glitches, despite all the negative perception of Cody's and the game itself, we've had a really nice set of players. We've had a lot of rotation. And even with BBU this season, we've had enough drivers come in and be at a competitive level where they've just shaken up the league. We've even got a new name today. We've got a guy called Zydox. I've not seen him race before. He's going to be joining Sonny and Aston Martin, and I'm told that he's one of the more tempestuous, that's a diplomatic way to put it, one of the more tempestuous BBU drivers.
Oh, yeah. What I like about the other fun, well, it happened in the past seasons for the first time, where people joined the Discord, right? And they actually join the Discord not for the League of Legends thing, where we have to admit that's the bigger part of VL, but solely for the purpose of racing in this community league, which I think is a pretty cool thing to know. Like and when we look back at start season 1, we had like 8.5 drivers just shitting around, driving backwards. I mean, you still got that last season with Scott and Miffy in F2, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I mean, yeah, you finished top 5 and I got constructors. That's how weak the field was.
Yeah, exactly. I still haven't managed to get a win, so I'm that bad. I'm that bad. But we move, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has come to a very nice point where we have a good amount of drivers racing here. The level of skill, I've talked about that with Alex past week, definitely increased a lot. And I don't know. Yeah. By the way, what's the relationship status with BBU, Graden? Can we trash talk them or what's going on there?
I don't know. I wonder if it's like VL and Focus Esports for League of Legends. I think we can trash talk people. We can trash talk the league if we like. I mean, we're our own people. We're not like branded with VL tattoos or anything.
And then VL got a new logo. Oh, shout out to our production team who's sleeping, by the way. If you look at the top right stream, right, it's the old logo. Yeah, I miss it.
Yeah, gotta love that obsolescence. Yeah, with like F1, we're paying respect to Codemasters, who are also similarly behind with technology.
Oh, okay, what's your guess? How long will it take the production team to change the logo? As long as Codemasters, that's actually really rude, Graden.
No, our production would be able to do it within the session if they wanted to. I think there's more important things at hand, like making sure laptops don't overheat.
We need that's. I heard it's things are commencing.
Hell yeah! Okay, right. We'll get out of the studio now. Here's an intro for this week's action. Okay, here we go, guys. We're here for the Belgian Grand Prix. 2021 can go away, it's 2022. This is the 11th round of 26 in VL F1 Season 5 Drivers and Constructors Championships. We've got some light rain on the circuit for the remainder of our qualifying session, starting with Q2 in a few moments. Let's take a look at the track. So it's the longest track in the calendar, 7.004 kilometers. Longer than regulations, but they made an exception. The Kemmel Straight is iconic, and there's just a nice set of undulating turns. You've got Eau Rouge Radion Complex, which is very difficult to get up at the best of times, even worse in the rain. You've got Pouon and lots of other corners that require a lot of consistent navigation. And of course, this was the race that was given half points controversially when it was raced most recently in professional Formula One. Our big boy Max Verstappen coming away with the win in inverted commas. So we're back with Impress here as we take a look at the Q2 action that's currently unfolding.
Yeah, and as you can see here on stream, wet conditions. Not sure about the race, but as for now, they don't need to worry about tires. Intermediates here while we follow Glenn, who's going a bit wide. A few yellow flags. There's a Mercedes standing around in sector 2. But yeah, everyone but 2 drivers out of track so far. So they have to be really, really careful, especially when they go up a Radion and Eau Rouge, right? In these difficult conditions. Because you want to hit that flat out to gain that maximum speed to get the best time possible for the best position possible for the race. So Gaben, a driver who's performing really, really well in the Ferrari project. The best, some might say. So I'm expecting some good things here from a driver who originally came from BBU, right, Credden?
Yeah, he's like the four-time champion. Shout if I'm not putting enough respect on that name, Gabe. He's the 4-time BBU champion, so he brings a lot. He was actually usurped by Trav, who's actually won the most recent season of BBU with 3 races to go as of last week's race. So Gabe he's got revenge in his heart, but he's not that kind of driver. He's a good guy. He's a great racer. He'll generally be considerate and he'll apply good technique. He's nearly always one to watch, and I think apart from a love of Trackmania, he's still kept himself up to date with F1, not least because of his participation in 2 leagues. So yeah, Gabe with a 154.2, really nice time at the moment. Q2 obviously shorter than Q1 by 3 minutes. It's only 15 minutes long. So it's a lot less practice, especially for those drivers who haven't spent time in the official or unofficial practice sessions.
Definitely. And speaking of Travis, last week, the entirety of Red Bull have not raced. Alex was casting with me because he broke something with his wheel, if I remember correctly. And Travis hasn't installed the game. So that made Sonny is now leading the drivers' championship by, let me check, it's only a couple of points, but every point counts if we especially look in real F1. So yeah, 11 points. Sonny's leading.
It is close. To be fair, there is a little bit of an asterisk on that standing, because we haven't yet completed the steward review from the last Grand Prix, the Great British one. You saw it on the casting desk that Sonny was a bit aggressive. So
a bit aggressive. A bit aggressive. The British Empire expanding was a bit aggressive. What Sonny did was super dirty. Was filthy.
Yeah. I was meant to be impartial. I was in the Mercedes/Williams call. Crispy and Dorman were trying to hold off Sonny, and they just couldn't. And they were so annoyed at the way Sonny barged his way through the entire field.
I have no horse in this race, but for content reasons, I'm gonna be completely biased and say Sonny should definitely get a big punishment for what he did last week. Especially Dorman, who drove a hell of a race. Driver of the day for Alex and me last week in Silverstone. Just got completely yeeted by the Finnish driver.
Yeah,
Well,
Dormin with a great defensive performance, and Crispy, I think, actually had the tyre strat on the rest of the field, if not for the last safety car. So,
yeah.
both Williams a bit pissed, but Sonny's going to say, my screen says victory, what does yours say? And he's just going to point to his lead in the Drivers' Championship.
Especially, yeah, because he won the last 3 races, right? So he's on a bit of a hot streak.
Yeah, really charging. As you said, Trav wasn't there in the last race, but he was there in the 2 races prior, and he could only achieve second. So Sonny really on the upswing. He's 12 points ahead. We're coming up to the halfway point in the season. It's a real marathon because we're racing 26 instead of the earlier 22 races. We've got the anniversary race. We've got the new races, I think Saudi Arabia, Emilia-Romagna, and Portimao among them. So yeah, really lots of a big endurance test for the drivers, especially with the races that have had to be cancelled because of technical issues. So yeah, real slog.
Well, we follow Sidox here now in the last chicane. Gaben setting the best time 1:53.5, and Sidox, what can he do? A completely blank page for me. I don't know this guy in 1:55.0. Not bad. Currently, oh well, P6. Glad that I waited. Oh, someone's having a spinny winny.
Yeah.
Alpine. It's Monty. Monty, can you go the other way around? Yeah, thanks. Good job.
He did this on the last turn. Oh no!
Oh,
Go on, Impress.
What did he do?
So I don't know if he collided with that. It's a blue car that's near him, which I think is Franklin in the Williams.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if Franklin has hit Glenn or vice versa, but officially Glenn has been disqualified from session for going the wrong way.
Oh, maybe it was in pit entry, right? And then he went the wrong way because the game is really, really petty about that.
It's highly possible, and I've seen it on tracks like the Hungaroring. It's so easy to be disqualified in that position. To be fair, Monty, who we've just seen having a spinny winny off after turn 1, had a similar spinny winny. To quote a great man I heard from earlier, he's doing a real hide the pain Harold on this section of the track. His car's just driven off.
Look at his car! It's gone!
It's like the guy who walks slightly backwards into a hedge to try and obscure himself and pretend he wasn't there in the first place. And that's very Glenn at the moment. DSQ, so yeah.
P15 for Glenn. Provisional P9 for Brendan. 1:56.0. Yellow flag in sector 3. I think an Alfa Romeo who's going a bit slow.
Yeah. Brandon bringing out the bacon slicer there as he cuts turn 1 and ends himself. It's not a double dupe, but he's not going to be doing anything on this lap. Gaben at 1:53.5 is looking really good. He's leapfrogged Sonny once again with 5 minutes to go. Yellow flags pretty much everywhere on the track because of how difficult it is to do these corners in most cases, and especially how difficult it is to do them in these wet conditions. Franklin nearly slamming himself into the house there.
Oh, yeah. Alex also went a bit off. We just caught it briefly on stream. Yeah, he's mowing the lawn while Franklin passes him, says, "Hello, Alex, what are you doing?" Now both of these drivers are back on track and currently looking. Last chicane. Put your car in the best position. If in case you're Franklin, then you just go straight to the pits. Thank you for that. Just as Alex, so we have the 2 Mercedes, Alfa Romeo, which is Macca, and Dorman out on track. Brennan, obviously, as you said, validated his lap.
Yeah.
Difficult conditions. Dorman and Somtha are trying to race on this outlap. So that doesn't look promising. Just back off a bit, Dorman.
Yeah, I mean,
this is not sunny. Oh no, this is not sunny. Wait, it shows red stripes like on the tires for me. That can't be right.
Yeah, it's showing them for me as well when it's pretty clearly intermediate. So we'll chalk that one up to a game bug. I think from my experience it means he's on inters, but the spectator software hasn't caught up yet. We've got Dorman and Somtha part of the same team who are just going around. Charmander retiring in the pits, so not DNFing here.
Not DNFing, but yes, wasn't able. So might be that this is not a spectator bug.
Yeah.
We'll see. Let's see if the softs are good enough. If it's
Yeah.
not too slippy. Because it could still be difficult, right? Especially in Spa here. Very hazy track. And also very, very dangerous to crash out looking at Radio and Eau Rouge. Or
Yeah.
if you want to meet Charmander's house, obviously. Is that still, it's still there?
It's still there, yeah. So I think there's still issues with how it's represented in game versus in real life. I think it's still there in real life. It's just coded really badly. As Monty has another little spinola on. Go on. Yeah, it's an easy place to crash, especially as you're trying to get traction. And much like a Rouge Radion, you're trying to get the best exit possible because you're coming onto that really long straight. So yeah, it's easy. Crash on House Corner. It's also hilarious because you're driving into a house on an F1 track.
Would you like to live there, Cran?
Well, it'd be great for the publicity. Maka doing a massive spin. He's going to retire on House Corner, just as we talk about it, Cast a Curse. And he's going to get the...
Oh, he's right on the racing line.
Yeah.
A lot of debris on track. That's, yeah, double wave yellows.
Now, his time is the 8th best at the moment, but because of the DNF, that means he won't have his car go through to Q3. It's actually going to risk a driver being knocked completely out of Q3 and have only 9 in the showdown. Two drivers yet to set times, in fact.
Botchen and the Bopper. But yeah, I don't know, if we go back to the house topic, right? I don't want to live there. Well, Franklin, spin on after the last chicane, right very close to the finish line. Please don't get yourself disqualified.
He might actually hold up his teammate here. Dorman is coming around. Both
he
in
has
the
to
Williams.
go wide. Yeah, he has to go wide. And now they're very close to each other. Dorman, although fastest lap, right? So all good. 1:49.7.
And yeah, more importantly, that resolves the tyre debate from earlier. The visual display was correct. He was on the softs. And he's picked it at the right time. Normally, DRS enabling is a good time to switch. Dorman's picked it correctly. We'll see if this stays for Q3, because now all of the drivers will have seen Dorman absolutely smash the fastest lap. They'll get to look at the soft tyres as Hodge goes even faster.
Watson, 47.8. So if we look at the tyre choices, right? Sonny, Travis, Brandon, and Icarus on medium tyres. Why are they choosing the yellow ones for Q2, Cran? What is the thought behind that? Especially for if we have any viewers who are new to F1 and racing in general.
Yeah, well said, as we're getting a real switch up of the times in the last minute as the checkered flag showing. So for new viewers, if it's a dry race, which it looks to be, the tyre compound on which you finish your best lap in Q2 is the same tyre compound in which you start the race. Normally soft tyres give you the fastest start, but it's better to start on the medium tyres so you can chain with the pack, and then go on to the softer soft tyres later on to give you the best pace and a nice head-to-head at the finish. All of that's goes thrown out the water if there's a safety car, and based on today, there will be.
Alex, by the way, who retired early, P11, and that means he's not going to Q3.
Yeah, that's crazy. And given everyone on Int, that might have been fine. Because we've had the soft-medium switch, the times have absolutely fallen. Glenn is also gone, he was disqualified earlier. Maka DNF'd, he's gone. Charmander retired and will have gone. Franklin can't finish a lap, so Franklin and fellow Project Mercedes driver Blaise Homewrecker will be joining them in the bottom 5. Somther will be going through, he'll get in 10th, and he'll be the only driver to not have finished a lap on a slick set of tyres in Q2.
So, bit unthoughtful maybe from Alex here, because you could obviously just sit in the pits, right? It was like he had a lot of time, so no need to retire it early because nobody else retired. You can just wait. Obviously, the spectator view gives you a little bit more info, but do you really need it? I'm not sure about that. Well, he's paying his price, P11, as you said. While the new guy, the blank page, the rookie, Sidox, and the Aston Martin 46.0.
Yeah,
on
that's
soft.
crazy. Yeah, we had that with Dorman. He was very good at knowing about F1, the world of F1 and the setups, etc. A lot of technical details. We didn't know how fast he would be when he did his first race, I think about 3 Grand Prix ago. And he was third in time trial, and I think was second or third in the first qualifying session. And it was that moment you just had where he's no longer a blank page. You can go, okay, right, he's a force to be reckoned with now. I've got my measure of him. If you don't trust my words, of course, you can trust new BBU champion Travis, who said in DMs to me about 20 minutes ago, Zydok's very fast, very good, but likes to jam his nose in. So Glenn will be very familiar with that strategy.
Well, speaking of time trial, right? Cran, did you know that I was top 50, top 25 worldwide on time trial on multiple tracks in the previous F1 game? Just putting that out there, you know?
Was that day one?
No. No. Probably day 3 on stuff like USA short, Bahrain short.
USA short in the wet.
Yeah, something like that. Well, all I'm saying, if people want to know why I'm sitting here, obviously you know a lot about F1, but you know, if you're top 20 time trial worldwide, if not, then just shut up.
Yeah, you don't have any right to talk trash on Impress. If show me a screenshot where you're top 20, and then we'll call it shopped anyway. So, yeah, there we go. You have to have a constructor's trophy like mine or a top 20 time trial.
Yeah, I haven't got any recognition. People just laughed when I told them, you know, and showed them the screenshots.
I'm pretty sure Trav's just racist. He only sent out the trophies to the white people. It's ridiculous.
Oh, such.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got Pushka with a nice vroom in the chat. We've got TM Fabs, that's Couchy, the Ferrari Project Jeff, hitting him with a Glen Keck L, and low fuel mode is... Now, Couchy has used a very severe swear word there that many Australians will resonate with. I'm not sure it's something we can handle. That language, Couchy, is shit.
Couchy.
Alright, looks to have dried up in press as we get ready for our final quali session.
That's really cool. Dry Q3. Let's see who the fastest guy is under this. Normal conditions, right? Put the soft tires on and race for it. You have 12 minutes time. Travis going out there first. The Red Bull P2 currently in the Drivers' Championship. And going up here, Radion Eau Rouge, long straight. It's just a beautiful track to drive.
Yeah, it's really iconic. It's got the history with it. It's a long track, so it's a real marathon test. Even if you've like half the length of the track would be the length of, let's say, Canada or Monaco or something. You've really got to be focused for the whole lap. Know all your gear changes, your turning points, your braking points. You could get a really nice time only to nose it up on Blanchimont bus stop near the end of the track. I think our top drivers will probably be the ones closest to the top of the Drivers' Championship. Trav and Sonny always put in a good show around here. Somtha and Gaben normally show up really well in qualifying, although there's always that big question mark guy, Zydox. He's just shown up, he's just set the fastest time in Q2. We've given him the benefit of the doubt amidst the tyre changes and the fact that people have had one lap in weird conditions. But if a driver can do that, there's no reason why they can't contend in Q3.
And it's going to win the race, Credit.
That's it, yeah. Zydox win. Calling it now. Turn the stream
Calling it now. Alright. A lot of people, everyone but Zydox, out on track. While we follow Travis here, who is going into the last chicane. Over the finish line, put your car in the correct position so you don't lose that much time. You gain a lot of speed on the outside, on the left side here, into turn 1. Very sharp, don't lose that much speed. And now, flat out, look at the elevation. It's just beautiful, especially when it would be sunny, right? Flat out, yep.
Nice.
Long straight, the DIS straight now, activate DIS. Then stay on the left side, because there's a turn coming up. That's right and left hander. Take the curb with you. Oh, that's really good. Yep, very good from Travis. lose that much time there. Then a very long corner. Here, make the curve with you, a little bit on the green if you really need it.
Fifth at no name, nice.
Oh, that looked a bit slippy, but all good. Travis not losing his car, fortunately. And now, another one. Now we're gonna visit Alex's house very soon, Kratten.
Let's hope not too close.
Hope not too close. To take this flat out again. There it is, the house on the left side. And everything just at full speed. Oh, it's just beautiful. And then head into the last chicane. Brake early enough. And don't lose that much time here. And let's see what Travis' time will be. 42.8.
That's honestly impressed. That smashed every time that was on the practice session, where we did get beautiful conditions. The fastest time trial time is 1:42 it's about 0.09. So Trav's got some work to do, but that's really solid. The gap to Dormin, who's a good enough driver by himself, shows you how good that track was.
Yeah.
Honestly, the way he was taking a few of those corners, he was doing that so well. He's beaten Sonny as well on his banker lap.
Very close to, but provisional pole for Travis now. Yeah, just we followed him through lap 1. Very, very beautiful display by Travis, the most decorated driver, I would say, in the LF1. A few yellow flags because people are going slow here, so nothing to worry about. Sonny just back off so he gets a lot of space. Good clean air. And yeah, Monty, Shadow, and side-ups have to set a time yet, but under that, between two seconds between Travis and Monty. And while I'll say that, Somtha crashed out.
We'll get a nice look at Somtha as Hodgson goes around Brussels' right-hander. It looks like an overcorrection to no name. Hopefully we still see the car. And yeah, it was kind of on track. I think it was just a straight crash, so probably Somtha not having the best traction out of Brussels.
Or not the best vision.
Yeah, it's possible. He's trained under Brandon.
Oh no. I told you guys, the Brandon trash talk continues.
Yeah, it's
tradition. Q3, but who expected him? Yeah, who expected him to go into Q3 anyway?
In any case, this is not a lap to remember for Hodge. He's about 7 seconds down on his best time. I don't think he had a good time on the board, even before coming up to Somtha Gate. It's going to be really disappointing for Merck in general. They've still got Dormin on the board. Franklin and Brandon obviously crashing out in Q2. So Dormin still is the driver that they're putting all of their hopes in. Hodge goes into the box. Because Spa is such a long track, you can't do 3 straight stints of it with separate hot laps and pits. You have to do 2 laps on one tyre and 1 on the other, as we see Trav in the Red Bull come out for another stint.
We follow side-ups here. He had to correct his car multiple times in second 2. I'm not sure how much that will affect his time. He's about to head into the last chicane, as said, max speed. Here, breakdown early enough. Into second gear, left turn, head over to the finish line, and that will be P3, yeah, 5 behind Travis and his teammate, Sonny. So not bad, not bad.
Yeah, really good sign. I mean, one thing that you could say, even though Zydox is a reserve driver at the moment, Sonny has really been aching for a driver who can support him in the Constructors' Championship. Sonny's really been going it alone, whereas Trav's had the luxury of Charmander Nerd as a teammate. So Sonny is currently, 64, 74 points behind in the Constructors' Championship. He could really get a nice swing on Travis with Zydox performing as well as his times would suggest.
And that brings me back to the question, when does a stand-in become a regular?
Yeah, everything's up in the air. Dormin, who was a new racer about 3 races ago, is now being seen as a regular. New drivers like Crispy, who've come over from BBU, are seen as veterans. So Travis, who's been there since season 1 and kind of helped set the league up, must be a dinosaur to all of these people.
He's not washed up though. Oh, Monty with a spin, too much curb.
Yeah, got to get back on the track in about 5 more seconds. His car is still operational, but he waves goodbye to whatever time that was.
Yeah, he still has a little time. His car looks okay so far, from what I can see. Yeah.
Zydok's looking good. He's 4 tenths up, and in Sector 3, he's approaching the finish line. Yeah, at the moment, that would put him still in P3, but a tad closer to Sunny in P2. And he's really showing his consistency at this point. Let's see what he goes for at the line. 142. And there he is. He's pinned his teammate by 100. Sunny's going to be mad about getting him on his team and giving him some advice. Travis breaking in his boots right now. That's really good.
That's the Sector 3 for the new guy. Oh, Sunny on outlap. He has to perform, otherwise he's getting beaten by this young gun.
Yeah, you can't have that. Sunny's just gearing up all of his ERS, trying to get the best possible start onto the start-finish line. He's going to put everything into this lap. We'll get back to him later. Monty's probably going to go into the pits with 1 more lap when he leaves. Coming up Blanchimont now, we've got Hodgson on his outlap. And just behind him, we've got Icarus gearing up for his outlap as well. Shadow Hopper behind them in that chain, and Gaben going to complete that run invalidating on his outlap. On his outlap, sorry. Travis is on a hot lap himself. He's approaching Blanchimont. He looks fast at the moment. He's burning through his ERS. He had a really good line through here on his first go. I think bus stop is actually going to be fairly decisive as to how this lap lands. Remember, he is within several hundreds of Zydox and Sunny behind him. He needs to make this lap or the next one count. He probably can't return to the box. Really nice acceleration out of bus stop corner there. Let's see what he goes for. And he doesn't improve. He's a full second down.
Doesn't improve his time. There was an Aston Martin in Sector 2 who span. Not sure who that was. Yeah, it was Sunny, who maybe a bit nervous now, because he was looking at P1, right, in Spa. 3 consecutive race wins, and now looking to start on the 2nd row. Look at his car. Look at his car grade. Yeah, he can't. Best result Sunny can get is actually P3 here. Because
yeah, Sunny can't do another good lap. Zydox is well down on his time, so he's charging everything up for his final lap, but he's got a fuel light on, so I think Trav might have made this one happen as Zydox goes into the pits. Dormin is going to massively improve and jump into P4. Gaben is up on his time at the moment, but not decisively. Hodgson can maybe get into P6 over the DNF Sonfa. It's down to drivers like Icarus and the 2 Alpines to really shake things up at the moment. The top 3 look set, Impress.
That is really exciting, because in the past races when we talked about it, it was like a 2-horse race between Travis and Sunny, right? No one really able to fight with them on a consistent level. So far, a little bit of spin here, Shadow Hop, but it's gonna cost him a lot. He's gonna set his first time and probably his last one, unless he goes for another round.
Yeah, Gaben could be good here. He's 7 tenths up. Sorry to interrupt. He's actually looking fairly close to the top 3. And he jumps into P1 with a fantastic bus stop. He's going to be almost a full 10th clear. And Trav comes clapping back and sets himself top. And he does to Gaben what he did in BBU all season.
Clap him. Well, I was about to say, yeah, it's really exciting because the new guy comes in. So it's not going to be only 2 drivers fighting each other. Gaben just spoils the party. Goes on to provisional P2. Very close to Travis, who just beat him afterwards. And I think, because, you know, I'm a community guy, Credden. If I look at chat, Ice is asking, what's bigger, Sean Honker or Travis' chance to finish top 5 in the race? That's actually a good question.
I mean, they're both sort of infinite. This is a mathematical question, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say yes.
Yeah, Sean's honker is actually a Mobius strip that curves back in on itself and has an infinite length. But what doesn't have an infinite length is Hodgson. Actually, that was 2 p.m. As he comes down the Blanchimont, he's coming through bus stop. He had a fairly nice delta halfway through the lap. I haven't kept up with it, but he is approaching the line. This could be good. Improves by 0.3 and consolidates P6. Last one to finish will probably be one of the top 2. Shadow Hopper's going to have a nice hash at this one. He's going to pip Hodge into P6.
Shadow beats him, and now we just look at Travis and
Both
Gaben,
up on
right?
time, it looks like. I don't think either are improving.
Gaben, as production told us, invalidated this time, so he's not going to improve. So
And Travis, well down as well. It might be a fuel issue.
Yeah, it's done. It's done.
Yeah, it is absolutely decided. Travis gets provisional pole. There was a nice little battle with the Aston Martins early on. Gaben thought he'd got everything sorted, but Trav basically slipstreamed off his nearest rival, just coming through onto the finish line. 142.7, really solid time. And let's be honest, the top 7, top 8 have blown away any time that was set around the practice session. So you just know that all of these drivers have been doing practices of their own.
Yeah, definitely. They're gonna invest some time here, know the track. I mean, although they've driven on it for some drivers, that's the case, right? Multiple times here on Spa. But, just get used to it. New game, new handling model, new car. But things stay the same, at least for Travis, who is getting the pole position here. P1 for the Belgian Grand Prix, which is for sure gonna be exciting. I'm looking at the second row, grabbing Sidox and Sunny. Who's gonna come out ahead here in the battle of the Aston Martins?
Oh man, I mean, if this was a reliable team in press, you could argue that there'd be team orders, and Sonny would say, "Okay, I've got the World Drivers' Championship at stakes. I'm the more experienced driver. Let me go." Sonny doesn't strike me as the elder statesman in the team comms. Also, I don't see Zydox going, "Yeah, sure, I'm your second driver," when he's basically just been randomly assigned into a team. So I think they're both going to go for it from turn 1. Zydox and Sonny have built themselves up with the reputation of maybe having a bit of a go even when they shouldn't, especially with Sonny's performance last week and Zydox's folklore from BBU. So yeah, I can see that being really good, whereas Trav and Gaben are just like displaying really good racecraft and having nice battles with each other. I think it would be really hilarious now if that turned on its head. Zydox and Sonny were like perfect gentlemen around the track, and then Trav and Gaben just DNF'd each other turn 1.
Oh no. Cursed. So when we look at the start, especially at turn 1, Credden, what do you think? Do you want to be on the outside or the inside here, and heading into this right?
It almost doesn't matter, I'm pressed, because wherever you are, you're gonna brake early and you're gonna brake hard for turn 1 because it's a really low speed corner. The problem is, no matter how well you take the corner, there's always the chance that someone, let's say an Aston Martin, for example, comes from like 5 car lengths behind you and absolutely smashes your car, ruining any chance of like tactical supremacy you had. Yeah, I don't think it matters. Trav and Gaben were in like a really nice battling position in the last few weeks, but it's not going to matter much at turn 1 because of the DRS zones on this track, because of the slipstreaming you can get on Kemmel, on Blanchimont. It doesn't matter who takes the lead at turn 1, so long as you keep your wing and so long as you keep your positioning.
Yeah, especially then when DRS is going to get enabled at lap 3. We will hopefully get some action. That's good. At least some overtaking right at the straight. I've been told that like somewhere in the race, in the later stages of the race, we will have maybe some rain coming up.
Yeah, I'm just getting that information at the same time. I don't know whether it's a drop might appear on the weather forecast or whether it's there's a big rain cloud and it's heading your way. Watch the heck out. Like, I've received the same info. There's a chance of rain at about the 60-70% mark of the race. And that's going to be spicy for pit stops. I haven't studied the pit stop tech in this race. Normally it's a one stop. For Spa, it's a long track that's fairly demanding on tyres. So I think soft medium might give way to, let's say, soft hard or medium hard. But then if you think of the rain coming in, if the rain comes in 60% of the way through the race, it will take a few laps to activate. It will then take a few laps for the crossover point to happen. At that point, it might be worth doing the last couple of laps on the soft tyres, or it might be worth trying to do that, and then you find out that the other drivers have switched early, and you're DNFing while other people go past you. So it's set up to be a really spicy call that lends a lot of unpredictability to the race. Hashtag Michael Massey.
Michael Massey, my hero.
Yeah, boy.
I respect this guy. Best racing director I know. I would love to have a tea with him. Play some table tennis, whatever. Chat with him about racing, He's a cool guy. I like him.
Yeah, boy. He's probably best at sports like coin flipping, but enough talk about him. Let's have a look at today's starting grid for round 11 of VLF1 Season 5, the Belgian Grand Prix. Okay, so if you weren't watching Q3, where were you? Trav and Gaben came in with stonking times. They were in danger of getting overtaken by the Aston Martins, who could only settle for third and fourth. Those times are really close. They're within 100th of each other, and there's going to be a battle for supremacy off of the line. Dormin was really impressive last week. He's made a top 5 position. Shadowhopper didn't look too hot coming into Q3, but he's made P6 land with some impressive performances. He's actually finished ahead of Hodgson and Somtha, two really good performers normally. Somtha had a DNF early on in Q3, and Hodge just bringing off some really consistent times. At the back of the Q3 field, Icarus in the Alpha Tauri, and Monty, Shadowhopper's teammate in Alpine, 2 top 10s for that constructor. Charmander leaving early in Q2 might have bit him in the backside, but he's going to be 11th on the grid. This season's race winner, Maka, is going to be 12th, really stacked 6th row there. Blablo is Blaze and Blood to Bleed. They're going to be both in the Mercedes project, and the only thing behind them, apart from big strategy, is going to be your boy Glenn, who DSQ'd in Q2 and is going to be sat at the back, sat in 15th, and waiting to see what happens ahead.
And very close to Brandon, by the way, Credden. I like that.
I very much like that.
You know these two lovebirds. What's going on?
Do we need to watch the front of the race at this point?
I actually think we have to focus on the back here. If Glenn is going to stick his nose into Brandon's rear, you know how it be. And considering the weather, I'm looking forward to some marvelous Ferrari strategy.
Yeah, Forza Ferrari. Grazie ragazzi. We've got Gaben up in P2, Hodge in P7, Maka in P12, Glenn in P15. If it's possible, they've got the grid surrounded. They've got a Ferrari or Project Ferrari driver almost evenly spaced along the line. They know what's going on. They can report on it. Now all that remains is to actually drive fast, which may be the sticking point for them.
So interesting enough, right? From P11 to P15, you get free tire choice. Maka and Blood to Bleed Franklin choosing to go on the soft tires. Everyone else who had the freedom of choosing went on to the medium ones who can last longer. Don't know how much weather is playing into that decision, but we will see. I mean, if a safety car comes around, then it's gonna really screw up your strategy anyways, because you can't really plan around that. We see the last cars going through the bus stop chicane and lining up for the start. Brandon, you want to take the lead there?
Yeah, let's do it, Impress. So yeah, tyre considerations, they're about even. You go medium for optimal, you go soft for the safety car. People have made their choice, they've locked it in, and they're going to get ready for the start of the race here. Trav and Gaben, they battled for BBU, now they're going to be on the front row with 2 Aston Martins behind them. And they're off. The round 11 is underway. It's a really short, sharp braking point for turn number 1. Our driver's going to go around that corner. A lot of pressing together around the exit, and Alpine almost going off the track there. Driver's settling in very well here, going 1 wide. Going flat out lap 1 is a very difficult decision, but you're going to have to do it if you don't get nosed on the straight. Contact between Monty and Icarus. Monty is going to be DNF'd instantly as he goes into the barrier. That's going to be critical. 14 drivers remain. And there's the VSC already after, I'm not going to say 1 lap, 3 turns, Impress.
3 turns, and Spa is demanding its first victim in the Alpine of Monty, who just spun around hit the walls and sadly is out of this race. So 14 drivers remaining, VSC. So no full safety car. I saw a little bit of debris already flying when we head into turn 1. No position changes in the top 3. Sonny got overtaken by Dorman. Maybe. There's some grudges from the last race. Dorman sticking his elbows out. I wouldn't blame him. Fire with fire then. Hodgson and Somther moving in place up, Shadow dropping 2 down. And we see the predicted pit stop strategy powered by AWS. Thank you, AWS.
Cheers, AWS.
Hashtag thank you, AWS. And we see the cars now all in line here, already close together. The VSC. Let's see when it ends. Obviously, you have to keep an eye out on Delta, otherwise you get penalties, which you don't want. And VSC's ending. Travis and Gavin heading to the bus stop chicane here.
Yeah, Trav needs to get a really good exit here. He's on mediums, the 2 drivers behind him on soft, so it's important that Trav leads them out very well. The difference in the first few laps is going to be really important. Hodgson goes into the pits here. I was interested to see what Icarus did, because he was nosed into by Monty on that fateful Rouge. He's going to stay out, but Hodge appeared to have an issue of his own. Yeah. Zydox and Sunny on opposing strategies, but let's have a look at Rouge. Trav going to go flat, Gaben behind him, and there's a nice gap between the top 3 and the closest challenger, Sunny, opening. Hemel is going to be really good here. Gaben finds his place alongside Trav, but that's not going to be a good position for the corner. Gaben is going to take the lead, Trav backing off slightly, but that's the good move. You don't want to go too wide into there, my friends. Gaben taking the lead, lap 2, Les Combes into Brussels.
Good job, Gaben here, making his soft tires work, overtaking on the long straight. And as you said, Hodgson probably some car damage. That's why he had to go into the pits, but the P14. Other than that, it's really close. Let's see if Travis can stick with the soft runners. Stay within the DRS window. Because for him, it's just, medium tires, just a longer run. He doesn't have to overtake. He doesn't. Oh, and Travis spun. Hit the curb.
Yeah,
what happened there? Suddenly, already in P2.
Yeah, that's going to have massive implications on the rest of the field. Didn't catch it myself in press. I was more focused on Icarus and Charmander further back. But yeah, Trav's going to... Oh, and Franklin spun as well on House Corner. He's not going to have his car DNF'd, but he's going to be out of that one. He'll need to pit.
Yeah. Oh, the cold tires. Maybe didn't warm the tires enough as you maybe could under the VSC. And yeah, that is absolutely very detrimental. But Travis here, P13. Very close to Hodge. Not what you want to hear if you're Travis and fighting for the Drivers' Championship. Being down on P13, while Sonny, the closest driver, is on P2.
Yes.
Following the 2 Aston Martins around.
Oh, speaking of the 2 Aston Martins,
he just
had an
hit.
issue, and yeah, that actually
Dorman
might have been a collision between the 2 Aston Martins. Dorman lost his wing in the process, and there's another VSC coming out on the track. It looked like Sonny was in the lead going up a Rouge, had to brake slightly, and from my point of view, it looked like Zydox went into the back of him. So all of that harmonious team play that saw the Aston Martins go well while Travis spun out a bit, that's now blown up a bit in their faces. Gaben is still ahead. Somther is going to get his way ahead of Sonny, as is Shadowhopper and Dorman. If there's anything that the last two and a half laps have told us, is that this is all to play for. Gaben hasn't won squat yet.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, poor Dorman. He's the victim of this internal Aston Martin skirmish, I would say. He lost his front wing and now he's going back to the pits. He's probably going to join Hodgson, Icarus, Travis there at the back. Not sure what the damage, if production could switch to either side of Sonny, what the cars look like. If we can see it, that would be great. So far, Cydox, obviously the wrong camera angle. Here, it looks, Sonny looks okay. So, Cydox looks okay, so maybe this was a dirty Aston Martin strategy. Right. And now to the restart. Somtha currently P3 following Silex around. Dorman obviously has to go into the pits. If people let him, thank you very much. Gonna get a new front wing, gonna lose a lot of time. Very, very sad for him. Somtha, yeah, 9 tenths, 8 tenths behind Sidox, and Gaben just somewhere else. But as you said, nothing set in stone here. Crashes are bound to happen here in Spa. A very fast track, dangerous track. So full focus, Travis.
Yeah, well said. It's so dangerous. We've had 2 VSCs, we've had numerous yellow flags, we've had teammates colliding with teammates, and the curbs are so dangerous here. We've had so many people just go off the track by slightly touching one curb. It's happened from multiple VL winners like Travis, all the way down to drivers who haven't had too much participation like Franklin. So yeah, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, you can be spun around on this track. Gaben is having a really nice position at the moment, and BBU New Boy Zydox is also on the soft tyres behind him. Soft tyres, maybe not optimal, it's still within a one-stop strat, although I don't think anything close to optimal is going to happen with tyre strategies. Maybe we see some wet weather coming in, maybe a safety car disrupts these drivers as they go for a second medium stint, but all they can do is just drive with the power they've got. Shadow Hopper having a couple good laps at the moment, stringing his way closer to
Brandon spun.
And we've also got a spin further back. Tell me more, Impress.
So Brandon apparently spun here while following, I think, his Lovebird Glenn around. Hit the wall, his car looks fine, so no major damage, just a laugh tap, and he can continue, but obviously drops back a few places. P11 right now for the VL version of Michael Massey.
Yeah, he might have emotional damage, and he might have some smaller damage as well that we can't quite see on the broadcast camera. Big test is whether he comes into the pits this lap. Drivers like Maka, Charmander Nerd, Glenn, they started outside the top 10 based on qualifying, but they've taken advantage of chaos further up, and they have advanced some positions. Trav with a really nice 1:46.5, fastest lap so far, but a damn sight short of what he can pull off in qualifying. He's making his way back up the field, he's in the points positions, he's got his work cut out, so he probably needs the help of a safety car to really advance his way up there. Maka is actually going for Sunny here. He's got the tyre advantage on his side, softs versus mediums, but he's really going for Sunny with the DRS with the Camel Straight, and he's forcing Sunny into a defensive strat, which is the last thing you want to do when you're trying to gain space.
Exactly, Sunny had to close the door here, otherwise Maka would have eaten him alive. So far, just making sure for Maka here, follow him around, stay close to him, next DS straight, use the power you get and overtake him. You have the soft tires, you have the better tires, and take P5, and that's obviously going to sting Sunny with his altercation with his teammate falling further back. He's looking for his 4th consecutive race win, as we pointed out during qualifying. But let's follow these two guys around for a little bit while we have a yellow flag, cause something, and Shadow! Both are out.
That's horrific, Impress. Both of them as a result of House Corner. Something directly and then Shadow Hopper based off the collisions. We've actually got a full safety car coming onto the track. It's the first and probably not the last of this race in Belgium. And Somtha and Shadow Hopper perform really well normally. They were in the middle of the racing line, which necessitates the safety car. There are now only 12 drivers remaining. If you finish, you've almost guaranteed got points, and I suspect we'll see a bit more. Safety car is now lined up towards the start of Eau Rouge Radion. Various drivers are pitting, Charmander staying out on his medium tyres at the moment. Most people, if they saw a safety car, would pit and go for longer tyres. I think Charmander is banking on the idea that we're going to have more safety cars here.
Yeah, and this is definitely an understandable decision. But congratulations to Somtha, who's going for this team achievement of DNFing multiple times in a session. Good job on an evening, rather. DNF'd in qualifying, and now sadly had a crash. I'm not sure what happened exactly, but since it was a house corner, probably touched the curb, touched the grass a little bit, then straight into the walls, and took Shadow out with him. So far, 3 victims, Shadow, Somtha, and Monty, who are out of this race, which means 12 competitors remaining. It's like Squid Game.
It's Squid Game. I was thinking of like gladiatorial games. So gladiatorial games and Squid Game, they're literally millennia apart, but the theme remains brutality and mano-a-mano combat. Yeah, Somther picking up his third retirement of the 11 race season, but that's nothing on Shadowhopper. This is actually his 6th retirement, which means that unfortunately for him, he's retired in more races than he's classified. That's a real F in the chat for my boy Shadowhopper.
Is there gonna be an award for that?
We might well make it happen. Oh, Pushka says in chat that the race will be the greatest love story, only Glenn and Brandon will remain. And it will be, I guess he means it will be a bit like the Hunger Games. But where only the hunger for each other will remain at the end.
Oh no, please. Oh no.
Although, Couchy probably has best comment with the house always wins.
Oh no!
Man carries an entire project with his strategies and still mic drops Twitch chat. Okay, right. Yeah, we're done. Why have us commentators when we can do that?
House always wins. I mean, it's so on a different level because this is just a gamble. It's just like, oh god. Oh man, alright. What's your favorite game in a casino, Grant? If you head into the casino, what's the first thing you gotta do besides eating something and shit, you know?
Yeah, like, no, I was lucky enough to go to Las Vegas, big flex, about 6 years ago. You don't go there for more than 2 days. Like, it's great for touristy stuff. There's nothing of substance there. It's all gambling halls. It's nothing like the refined gentlemanly image of Bond. It's basically one-armed bandits, just all across the floor. They hide all the actual person-to-person poker games behind giant minimum bets because they need to pay their dealers. So even though I'd want to be James Bond and play like Texas Hold'em or like Baccarat or something, or like play the roulette wheel, I just ended up walking around places, ordering donuts and hot dogs, and then just watching as people lost.
And now I just imagine you as the next king.
Oh yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I don't know if it's too soon to spoil, but yeah.
I always wanted to play a Bond villain, by the way.
That would work. Like, you've got the classic one's Blofeld with the cat in the chair, but then I don't know what Rami Malek actually did in the latest film. He just
I don't think Rami Malek knew what Rami Malek was doing.
He just looked a bit imposing and then just walked off. Yeah.
Funny face, funny accent.
The works. Next up, it's Krusty the Clown.
Oh, Krusty the Clown, my god. Imagine that. But yeah, I mean, although I don't think you can be the next James Bond because you're white and a man, you know, everyone knows it's gonna be a person of color, preferably a woman of color. Right?
Yeah, it's. I thought that was the big switch they were going to do because, spoilers for No Time to Die, they had a black female agent and her code name is 007 in the film. So lots of people were saying, are they replacing James Bond with a black woman? That caused all sorts of distress amongst traditional fans of Bond. So, amongst other suggestions, I'll have to think of a different franchise to go into. Maybe Jason Bourne films when they come out.
What definitely comes in though is the safety car, Credden.
Oh, love it. I was going to say what Krusty the Clown, like the clowns in this VL race. Go on, take us through the restart, Empress.
Slap. Well, or maybe Charmander takes us through the restart, because all talking about this James Bond stuff, I completely missed that we have a Red Bull leading us into this restart, but it's not Travis. He's in P5, but it's Charmander who had an atrocious qualifying, going over the finish line into turn 1, followed by Glenn and Gaben. So let's see, I hope the tires are warm enough so we don't get another crash when we go up the hill. So far, so good. Flat out, obviously a little bit of teleporting here because Codemasters. Charmander a little bit away, and Gaben looking on to take over his project captain, Glenn. He's on the inside now. P2 for Gaben. Soft tires, all good. Not dreadful so far. The tires are warm. Everything is really, really chill so far. Although, I say that, double wave yellows, sector 1 and sector 2. Sorry for caster cursing. Hodgson spun.
Yeah, your boy Bobby Bodgson coming in with the Steven Spinola at the back of the field. I don't know how everyone got up Eau Rouge, but the Kemmel Straight was the one that finally took out our drivers. Like
you have to keep the car in a straight, Cradden.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Even our iRacing NASCAR boys can't do that, as Brandon will tell you another time. Yeah, Hodge has been absolutely nosed out by that Lake Holmes complex. He looks to still have a wing, but that can belie further problems, either with smaller components, engine flaw, or emotions. Hodge can let them run high. We've also got a yellow flag with Icarus, and that's a DNF. He's gone.
Yeah, safety car.
Yeah, there it is. Second safety car. Icarus flew too close to the wall and got burned for it. So Hodge is going to move into P11. There are 11 gladiators left, and Bernd Mailander is going to have his hands full this race. His hands full of the wheel of the safety car.
Does he get paid by lap, do you think? Imagine. He's gonna have a field day. Travis pitting again. Obviously 7 old mediums. So all good. He's going put on the soft tires, which could work, because if you remember correctly, right, in all this chaos, maybe you forgot it, but there's a slight chance of rain coming. So Travis is looking to make the soft tires work until the first raindrop is coming down, until it's time to pit for the inters or the wet tires. I don't know, probably the inters, right? And make the best out of it. So at the front, Charmander 8 lap mediums, just like Glenn and P3. Gaben in between them, 2 lap olds. There's Sidox, Macker, Dorman, Franklin, all very young, very fresh medium tires. Brandon, P6 here, hasn't pitted yet. And now we see the Scott, the Bodgers trying to catch up to the field. P11. I mean, you know, if we have one more crash, everyone gets a point. You get a point. He gets a point. I don't get a point because I'm casting. You don't get a point, Brandon, because you're casting. Stu doesn't get a point because he keeps him in his basement. But all drivers get at least 1 point. So,
if we get down to 7 drivers, I think both casters and production classify in the top 10. So we can walk away with more points. I'm just going to take a quick look at the driver standings to see who that gives us more points then. Rock, Blueberry Haze, Bry, Ezzy, both starting Aston Martin drivers, Callie and Dan. Scott and Runas, we would have more points than those drivers.
I think we... or we just make a raffle in Twitch and just award points.
Yeah. I think Pushka and Couchy are going to share points on that one.
Half a point, you know.
Yeah.
But Malander should get 25.
Yeah, I think half points at Belgium's already too controversial, but we'll see what happens. Hodge is going to get himself back up to the pack. Safety car entering Sector 3. There's a slight chance that the safety car will go in this lap, at which point we'd have another restart.
I think it would have already told us now, so it looks like another lap. Unless I missed the notification, but with my great vision, I don't have my glasses on. I obviously didn't miss it. So another round of following the red Mercedes safety car.
I thought you were going to say Hodgson then, the red Mercedes.
The red Mercedes.
I don't know how you want to spin that in Twitch chat, whether that's a compliment or a BM, but we'll find out as we negotiate the Eau Rouge after the restart. Yeah, we've got drivers all the way from Trav, one of the most successful ever, Charmander, who's leading with constructors, all the way down to our newest drivers, Idox, who hasn't raced before. We've only got 11 drivers and we're less than halfway into the race, and this is our second safety car. Belgium has always been a pretty difficult track to race around on. The 2021 handling model has caused a lot of issues, as Cody's in general. But the fact we've got these DNFs, the fact we're down to so few competitors, it really blows the field wide open, and I love it from the commentating perspective.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Valence League. Might be League of Legends or Formula One. Clown Fiestas are for sure happening here. And there are two guys, two poor fellas, and Kren and me, in this case, who have to try and make the most sense out of this. But, you know, in the end, it's just a circus. It's just banter. If you look at this race, Kren, there's no deep analysis behind this. It just crashes.
Yeah, at least it's better than Action and Viego, though, that's for sure. We've got 12 laps to go. 12! And looking at the tyre situation, it's really hard to call what's optimal, partly because we don't know if there's going to be another safety car, we think there might be, and partly because of the chance of rain that we've talked about several times. The sky looks fairly clear over this virtual Spa at the moment, so rain isn't imminent, but even if it's like 2 or 3 laps away, that could throw a spanner in the works of so many of our drivers, as they might have to consider the switch to intermediate tyres. We've just received the race control shout that the safety car will be in this lap, so Charmander is going to have his second restart of the day to negotiate.
Yeah. So he knows the drill, right? Warming up his tires, you see the cars weaving around from left to right, from right to left, so they can hopefully take red out. And please do not crash in Camel Straight. You did the hard part. Come on, it's not that deep. Now heading to the bus stop chicane, getting a bit closer to Charmander. Let's see if Alex can catch him napping. Doesn't look like it. Well, one a little bit of time, you know, but still 5 tenths, fine. 6 now before heading into turn 1. We follow Charmander around, who's sitting in P1 not comfortably because there's still 11 laps to go. 11 done, we're at halfway, and Sonny over to Franklin here. So far, I don't want to say anything, I just want to enjoy it in silence, because otherwise I might curse someone. We see Psydox sneaking up on Glenn, both on the medium tires. Glenn trying to defend here. It's going to be on the inside in turn 1, but and then on the other turn, Psydox on the inside, P3 for the rookie. Glenn having to drop back down, just right ahead of Maka, his project partner. Other than that, no overtakes so far, and Cradden, surprisingly, no crashes.
Oh, I was waiting for a crash just as you said that in press. You did actually see Trav and Sunny have a nice battle up Camel Straight. To think they could be battling for the title, but right now they're battling for P8 behind Brandon. You love to see it. Brandon is going to take the caster curse and move slightly off Poulon. As Trav runs down his left, this can be quite a close one as we go into the S's. Brandon is going to hold his position for now. And
She's just going to let him pass. He knows he's not racing him. He's not racing him, you know? So maybe that makes the most sense, because Brandon hasn't pitted yet. So...
Oh, Brandon's gone! He's gone into the wall, and that's an instant retirement.
He doesn't have to pit again, Brandon! He doesn't have to pit again!
Oh my god, Travis, have we got a safety car? It doesn't look like it. Brandon's car was kind of on the racing line. I think Bern Mylander has just said fuck it and gone for a drink.
It can't be asked to go out again. And Gordon, you get a point, and you get a point, and you get a point.
Everybody gets a point. There it is.
Gets a point. It's Goshaw, 10 grabs remaining, 5 victims. Michael Maxey is the last one, and now finally someone could convince.
We've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3 more safety cars than you. That's the 3rd time the safety car has gone in the box. We've just passed the halfway point in the race.
We follow Hodgson here, and his right tire is like my mental Crabben. It's completely gone. It's damaged.
Oh, it's more busted than Novak Djokovic's vaccination status 2 weeks ago. Oh my god.
Get away!
Well, then again, Brandon just had a pretty big grand slam of his own if you look at that house corner.
Congratulations to Rafael Nadal, by the way, for winning. I'm not sure who's gonna win. Definitely not us, Cradden. Definitely not us.
Yeah, Hodge is going to have to go coming back to the front under a safety car for the 2nd time in 3 laps. I can't believe I just said that sentence. Brandon is out of the race, so yeah, everyone's going to get a point. Brandon couldn't keep up in the battle with Trav, who was on the fresh softs. He was keeping ahead of Sunny, but then just couldn't get traction out of House Corner, so he is going to be sleeping with the Fishers. Hodgson and everyone up is guaranteed a point if they can get to that 90% classification zone. Charmander is going to be, as soon as the field bunches up, he's going to be leading his third restart from under a safety car.
That's also a Steam achievement, by the way. We have to hand these out. Like, no way. I was just thinking, like, everyone talks about Radion and Eau Rouge, right? But House Corner, probably the deadliest one of them all in the entire race calendar, no?
It's gotta be.
Dorman? Oh, Travis?
Yeah, there's a 5-second penalty right there. With Whale for speeding, was that for severe collision? This is a race
collision. They just touched each other. It's the COVID is still a thing.
Yeah.
Social distancing.
So Gaben on Charmander, Dorman on Maka, Trav on Dorman. So Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, all three project teams involved.
And it's a threesome I don't want to watch on the internet, Credden.
Oh my god, this is absolutely chaotic. I can't handle this.
Alright, well, then I'm gonna take over, let Credden take a deep breath. I got it, boy. Safety car still, Hodgson going to the pits again? Does he have some damage, or what is going on here? He's going on to medium tires now, so he has to change the tires. It doesn't look like a wing change. Or maybe it did. It took a little bit of time. So I don't know. How many stops does Hodgson have? Maybe production team can let me know. Boy, a full house of pit stops, and there it is. The Las Vegas topic again, the Las Vegas theme going here. Maybe he can get a blackjack of pit stops. 21 stops. I think the most pit stops in a race was definitely Monaco. I think it was Cali with like a 9.
I want to say
sure.
I've seen 8. 9 would be a new record. He totally that was the famous one where Cali wouldn't let Charmander by, and I think they were on the same project team at the time. I sent Pyro into hysterics, and me as well, on watching the Twitch clip. We're in the third safety car. We've spent more time in a safety car than Monty has actually racing.
More times in safety car than I spent in Stuhl's basement.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Apart from for the local authorities who have no idea. A lot of drivers now on the soft tyres, so Charmander, Glenn, Dorman, Trav, they sense that now is the time to strike. If there are no more safety cars, massive if, that means that they'll be racing for 9 more laps, which is a realistic amount of distance to have the soft tyres on for. The problem is that Hodge is still hard trailing the pack, so we haven't yet had the shout that the safety car will come back.
No, it doesn't go in. I think probably next lap, and if Nostradamus was right, Credden, maybe we get some raindrops in the next couple of laps. But not sure. It turns out that these dry conditions are already difficult enough for a lot of drivers here.
Gabe's going for Hodge. Wait, has Hodge actually big-brained it? A Ferrari called Gaben needs to stop, so Hodge just stayed out to let the safety car go an extra lap. Has that happened? Did we just see that happen?
I don't know, it's Ferrari. Ferrari.
On one hand, it's a great move, but on the other hand, Hodge would have had to have thought of that. So, yeah, tough call.
I'm not sure. I think it's a coin flip. Michael
Massey's specialty.
But
yeah, Charmander's going to give way at the front to Zydox, who is our new boy. It's his first ever race in VL. I'm told he's a very fast, but maybe a bit unruly driver in BBU. So he's certainly showing up well. He hasn't thrown his car around everywhere like you might expect, and he's had really good pace. Leads the race. He's got 8 laps to go if the safety car comes back in. He's got the mediums. He can finish the race on this compound. The rain is a question mark, but he's got the temperament. He's got the qualities to keep himself up there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Sidox. So we got a change for once, right? Not Charmander leading the restart. It's the new guy, Sidox. Here ahead of Naka, his teammate Stunny was in P3. Back, and then Franklin, P4. Very nice. Charmander Glenn, who went up 9 places in this mayhem of Spa. Borman, Travis, the Bodge, and the Gabe.
The Bodge and the Gabe, the Ferrari teammates you want on your side every time. Glenn had the most ignominious of Q2s. He departed with a DSQ almost as soon as he could start competing, but he's got himself into a fairly good position at the moment. He's on fresh, soft tyres, and he's hoping that this safety car restart will be one to remember. The pack is bunched up, so we're expecting a shout in the next couple of seconds that we'll have the safety car coming in this lap, and there it is.
There it is. Warm up your tyres, please. And please give Birdman a break. He did enough. He did enough. He lapped more laps than anyone else, I think.
Yeah, the safety car pit stops are actually having to be as fast as the regular F1 car pit stops, because you just know he's going to have to get out again and get ready just before a Rouge for the next incident.
Exactly. So, let's see. Let's follow Silex around. Ahead, here in this whole pack, this whole Wolf pack, going to the chicane on his medium tires, and driving, or trying to drive away. Macca following him. Sonny really close to the Alfa Romeo driver, who's maybe looking. He can't overtake Macca in turn 1.
Oh, Franklin with a really slow exit out of turn 1, so Franklin was going to chase him very much into Rouge. And Hodge a bit further back. Trav up Dorman's rear for a Rouge. Will they take it flat out? There's a couple of really solid accelerations going up there, but everyone appears to have made it for now.
Exactly. So John Miller looking on Franklin, and Sonny looking on Macca, who's trying to defend. He looks into his rear mirrors, but Sonny cannot make the move yet, while John Miller can. Moves up into P4 and now hunts down the top 3 drivers. Maybe he's looking for a podium, although he's 1.5 seconds away. There was a little bit of touch there, no?
Oh my god, what is I don't even care about the top 3 right now, Impressed. Look at positions 4 through 8, they're all clustered. Like, Trav and Dorman are at the back, Glenn's pretty fast. Franklin's had a few erratic corners, Charmander's broken clear, but this is soft tyres catching up with medium. I think Franklin's going to get overtaken a few times in the next few corners, which is fine. It's just it forces a lot of close battling while tyres are still warming up. Travis is boxed in by a Ferrari and a Merc.
You know what that means, Kravitz, and I would like to play a VLF1 edition of Wordle with you.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
I don't know. I'm just gonna tell you the word, I think.
Can I guess Bodge, B-O-D-G-E?
Well, B-O-D-G, what? Doesn't have 5 left.
It's just stick an E on the end, B-O-D-G-E.
Alright, no, you have no correct answers. So.
Oh, Dorman did not take that last turn correctly as well. He's slotting in just by Gaben. He's been forced off the track. There's contact between those drivers. Hodgson is going to take massive advantage there. He big-brained his teammate into Dorman. You know it.
Look at that. And now, Dorman, okay. But there was Glenn. Yeah, Glenn's taking Franklin here. Up to P5.
Travis too wide with Dorman going into Rouge. Glenn's going across the cut. Travis is going to be on the curb. Halfway over Rouge, but makes it stick. He's now going up.
Glenn loses 2 positions here, Glenn.
And here comes Franklin. Is this going to be 3 wide until it comes? Franklin has nowhere to go. If Glenn is there on the right side, this is 3 wide. I can't handle it at the moment. There's contact between Franklin and Glenn. Franklin is going to lose his entire front wing on the first round of Lake Holmes. Trav and Glenn sailing off into the sunset. VSC.
VSC. He lost his front wing. He cannot. Get 3 cars through that Gradden.
I'm loving that. Like, Trav, Glenn, Franklin. That was 3 different projects. Trav and Glenn being the captains of theirs. Franklin going, I don't think I'm in the right position, but you know what? Cowabunga it is, and just fires his way down the right-hand side.
I respect the balls.
You've got to respect the balls in positions like that. Unfortunately, it means Williams are a bit awkward in the standings. They're in 9th and 10th.
But they get points,
yeah, they're getting more points than the Mercs, than the Alpines, than Icarus, than Pushkar and Kaushi in the comments. Like,
yeah.
I mean, even if it failed, the attempt in itself was glorious. So respect Franklin. Oh, and that's a drive-through penalty for Sunny. He was speeding under the VSC.
Sunny,
Rookie
mistake.
Just as the DRS is enabled.
I can forgive him, because you probably raced like time of 3 races here on Spa, right? The amount of time it took. So you can, that's gonna cost him a lot. We should not forget that, especially Travis has a 5-second time penalty for, inappropriate touches at place of work with Bowman, I think, and someone else. So that penalty might get taken off, but it looked like a legit penalty. So not sure about that. And Glenn, all right.
Yeah, as it stands, Impress, there were 3 5-second penalties handed out, but I think they were all eliminated because of the pit stops and the safety cars afterwards. So the only time penalty on the track right now is Glenn's for corner cutting.
Good job, Glenn. Yeah, you're right, Glenn. That's why I have you.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, so obviously Franklin had to go into the pits. He's 26 seconds behind the rest of the drivers, bar Sunny, who had to serve his drive-through penalty. He's in P9, just behind Dorman, and maybe we could see a little bit of action there again. Obviously means Sunny has to catch up. 8.5 seconds to Dorman, and Travis looking on Gaben here. It's following him closely around the bus stop. Oh, Maka, sorry. On the inside, yeah, he's gonna make it stick.
Yeah, it's looking really
forcing
close.
A little bit wide. Sidewalks, Charman on the fastest lap, and Travis into P3. Although Maka now has the inside, but he's too far behind. Travis, nice move. Maka holding up his teammate, the Gabe. Overtakes him now for heading up the hill.
Oh, that was a coordinated move from Project Ferrari there, who now occupy positions 4 to 7 in the overall standings, hilariously, with the senior team behind the junior one.
As it should be. At the start, they were all spread out through the entire field, if you remember. And now, as a compact unit, the Gabe and Maka ahead of the G and the Borge.
The G and the Bodge really getting memed on in this clown cast. Red Bull have got themselves into a really nice position, and right now I think we can talk about all of these drivers not choosing to pit again unless something crazy happens. Yeah. They're on fresh softs or mediums that can handle 15 laps of racing. And Zydox is on 11-lap-old mediums. Charmander has gathered, I think, 3/10 onto Zydox in the last lap. If Zydox holds this and keeps the win, it'll be impressive for many reasons. New driver taking the win is always good. New driver taking the win in this field with this level of demolition is always good. But yeah, just the composure to get these last few laps down. At this point, I don't see rain making a meaningful impact. Even if the clouds were to start to darken now, the raindrops were about to fall, the crossover point would just be too late. You wouldn't see drivers pitting, losing track position to get maybe a slightly faster final 1 or 2 laps.
Yeah, I agree. Also, going back to the Cydox topic, it would be really impressive if you can hold off Charmander and Travis right behind who just set fastest laps. Charmander only 6/10 now after turn 1. Oh, Cydox, you're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna have to hold the best Fernando Alonso / Dorman possibly.
DRS is on.
Able to make the stick. DRS enabled. Charmander hunting down the new guy. I'll follow Glenn, who's overtaking Maka. Glenn into P5. Zydox on the inside here.
Oh, and that's contact!
He touches
one off to the side. That was the Aston Martin school of driving. Sonny's had an impact in that defense. Yes, we said Zydox had that reputation. I'm going to call it a racing incident. I don't think Ido was particularly at fault, but the effect is that Charmander has been spun unceremoniously off, and Zydox has kept his position with no visible damage, no superficial impact to his car. It now falls to the vengeful captain of Red Bull. Travis has seen what Zydox has done to his teammate, and he swears revenge. He's going to take this Aston Martin newcomer out. And this would be fantastic for Ferrari if they both crashed into each other.
Now I want to be a little mouse and just head into the Red Bull comms to see Charmander's, or to hear Charmander's reaction rather, what that was. It looked like a racing incident. Sidox definitely could have avoided the contact. He chose not to, being a member of the Sunny School of Thought, School of Driving. So on the 12th lap, old mediums, followed closely by Travis and Gaben here, who will both get DRS. So either Sidox loses 2 positions, or he's going to take out 2 veteran drivers.
Yeah, there might be some more Sunny magic in the tank. I'm memeing here. Zydox wasn't malicious in that last incident. It was just a really close 50-50. Trav is right up Zydox, though he's closer than Charmander was in the previous lap. Zydox has got a lot on his hands if he's to keep his P1. Zydox is on the right-hand side of the track. Now, this is pod racing for Travis. He's going to be up the right-hand side, and Gaben is going to follow Trav. They're just going at such a massive speed that Trav and Gaben have catapulted themselves into P1 and P2. Zydox brakes, but isn't able to get back. The 2 at the front have made it stick.
Yeah, definitely. A nice move by Gaben and Travis. Also, Travis then had to defend from Gaben to not lose P1. And now Sidex dropping back. He's 2 seconds ahead of Glenn.
Oh, Travis is off the track. He's gone to the right. There's collision between Travis's car and the metal on the right-hand side. That's a massive body blow for Red Bull and specifically their captain. The wing looks okay, but who's to say why that happened and who's to say what effect it'll have on the remaining 2.5 laps. Trav within 0.2 of Zydox, who might be able to defend his way into a P2 finish again. Gaben leads.
Gaben leads, and now Travis finds himself behind Sidox again. Oh no, what happened there? Just like a second of sleep. Oh no, Travis. Alright, P3, refocus. You know, you can do it. Only 3/10. He's on old mediums. Just wait for the camel straight. No need to pull any moves here earlier, unless Sidox obviously screws it up. But don't lose that much time so Gaben doesn't get away. Obviously, Sidox also gets DES from only being 6/10 behind Salty Gaben. But let's see what happens here, and then maybe Travis can challenge Gaben for the win here in Spa-Francorchamps.
Yeah, 2 laps to go. Coming up, Eau Rouge, Radion, Gaben, Zydox, and Travesty all within DRS frame of each other. Trav is going to open up his battery. Zydox's battery is almost completely out here. Trav is going to run down the right. Zydox is powerless as he watches Trav just skate past him and get within a second of Gaben here. Nice braking zone. Slightly suboptimal entry into the cones, but it's going to be okay. He's going to have an alright path. Gaben, however, is 1.4 clear at this point.
That cost Travis a lot of time, yeah. Alright, so Trevor. Gaben, lap 21 of 22 on P1, 1.5 seconds out of Travis, who lost a lot of time by overtaking Sidox on his old mediums. Behind the rookie in Aston Martin, we have the pack of Glenn, Hodgson and Maka, how the senior drivers are ahead, at least. E7, Dorman, then Charmander, who had a touch with Sidox a few laps ago. Sunny had to serve.
Oh, and Dorman's gone. He's absolutely just nosed up his car on the way up to the house. 2 corners to go, almost to sector 3, and he's DNF'd. I have no idea what caused it. It would have been in a chain, but Dorman's going to have the worst finish. The silver lining is that it was in the final 2 laps, so he is going to classify and get 1 point for the projected P10. Gaben, however, is going to have no idea that that's happening. He's going to be continuing onto his final lap, lap 22 of 22. Not a safety car in sight. Bernd Mailander is done for the day. 6 drivers are done for the day. 9 drivers survived, and they're going to make it to the finish line, barring no further shenanigans. Gaben leads front and centre. He's got more than DRS distance. He's got enough in the battery. He just needs to bring his car home, and he will have the 2nd win in VL, the 2nd win this season, and his 3rd time on the podium. Trav is doing what he can. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to catch up. Zydox so far admirably in P3. Hodge is going to make it past Glenn.
He's going to make it past Glenn. P4 for Hodgson. Nice move. He had more ES. He had medium tires, but I think these are the fresher tires. Glenn had no chance, especially with the ES open for Scott Hodgson. So good finish for him. We will see though. As pointed out, Travis cannot catch Gaben here, and Gaben is setting himself up. Don't take any risk. Just bring the baby home, Gaben. Bring it home. The corner of that is approaching. So let's see if he can make it there. Please do not crash out. So far it looks good. He made it. That was the most dangerous part of the track. And Gaben is looking to win here in Spa. Ahead of Travis, Sidox will round out the podium. Looks very good. Bus stop, chicane, right, left turn. Get over the finish line, my boy.
Yes!
And that is the win. Gaben ahead of Travis, ahead of Sidox. Hodgson coming up, who overtook Glenn in this lap. Oh, and Glenn obviously with the 3-second time penalty. We forgot about that. Drops back to P6, so Maka is in the Ferrari sandwich while being in Alfa Romeo. Charmander P7 ahead of the former championship leader, I think. Has to be. Funny.
It's got to be. Trav picking up 18 points for his provisional P2, assuming nothing happens with Stewart's reviews. Sonny only getting 4 points. So yeah, that is going to overturn the deficit at the top of the championship. Top step of WDC goes Red Bull Blue again. And Trav didn't get P1. I have no idea what happened on that lap 21 no-name corner. But yeah, that will have been the difference. He's going to be happy anyway. P2 is great. And Gaben has really put the Sonny streak to bed. He was looking for his 4th consecutive win. All momentum has been taken. Your boy Glenn getting driver of the day. Nice bit of consolation there. And we get to see a nice little bit of shadow boxing powering through from our boy Gaben in Alfa Romeo, the Ferrari Project junior team, coming away with all of the 25 points.
Nice one. Nice race by Gaben, who profited from all this chaos, all this mayhem, right? Which happens regularly at this racetrack. P1, good job. And, wow, that was an entertaining race, Cren.
Hell yeah. Wouldn't have done it any other way despite all the chaos, all the devastation that was in play, which can get confirmation on the scoreboard. Gaben, Travesty, and Zydox are the podium. Hodge, Maka, and Glenn making sure the top 6 positions have all of the Project Ferrari team in them. Great teamwork from them. Didn't get the massive amount of points, but together they've all contributed. So, yeah, very well played. Charmander is going to be ruining the fact he's in P7. He had a legitimate shot at the lead coming into that last passage of play. So, obviously not having a great time with that drive-through. Franklin and Dorman getting points on the board for Williams. And our drivers with the DNFs just sitting and regretting what could have been on a more traction track.
So, yeah, that concludes the Spa race. So far, if I look into the driver's lobby or VL Racing channel, because I can't see, is this the other channel? No drama so far. Everyone, I assume, just pretty much exhausted from this race.
Yeah, so much going on. It's a full race. It's always happens in VL. You've got a full 45 minutes of qualifying, or 30 in this case, adapted to different conditions. It's always a marathon, and there's so many twists and turns. Each safety car turns the race on its head. But I think we have a very worthy winner in our boy Gaben.
I just realized, sorry, Credden, I just realized Hodgson got P4 with making 5 stops.
Oh my god. That's a real hyper-modern strategy. That's what I'm going to say there. He even went onto hard tyres after stop 1 under the safety car. Like, that nice is what I'm going to say there. Nice. Okay, that's been all of our coverage at VLF1 from round 11, the Belgian Grand Prix. I've been thrilled to have Impress and Stillbend on production in my corner. Impress, before we cut out, is there anything you want to say to anyone out there, or just the audience in general?
Yeah, well, I hope you liked it. Spa delivered another amazing and very entertaining race. Sorry for losing my mental, but it do be like that. Was fun casting alongside you. Thanks to Stool for the production value, but please stop being lazy, Stool, and change the VL logo. get on that, you know.
Yeah, there we go. We'll be back as soon as Store changes his laptop so that it goes. It survived the potato onslaught today. Long may it continue. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you tonight. It's been great. Maybe not for our DNF drivers, but for our classifying drivers. Hopefully, anyone who watched it as well. Have a great week. We'll be back next time with a glorious track, Circuit de Monaco, for round 12. But until then, have a great night. Have a great week. And we'll see you later. Anyway, here's some Pentakill.
Whispers falling silently drift on the wind, but I hear you on a journey. Now a memory fading from sight, but I see you unbroken. Promises we made so long ago. You're still here unspoken.